Diego Lopes anticipates a stronger Alex Volkanovski after his time off as they prepare for their UFC 314 bout for the vacant featherweight title.
I think now Alex is going to be better, right? The guy stays the rest 1 week, only training, rest, stay healthy for your next fight. Not the Alex is 100% secured for the next fight for the title. No, I think the guy is staying the preparation for so long time. I think now is a good time for Alex. You come back, but I'm still here, bro. I'm still here for the fight. I have a great opportunity in my hands. Yeah, I'm ready for a big fight.
Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Michael Chandler expressed skepticism about Conor McGregor's return to fighting, stating, "I wouldn't put money on it." Despite talks of a potential fight between them, Chandler questions the likelihood of McGregor stepping back into the ring.
Conor's always a part of it, man. I mean, it's going to be one of those deals where, you know, I'm the name, his road back to the UFC goes through me. It goes straight through Nashville, Tennessee, and Michael Chandler. We've got to finish the Ultimate Fighter 31. That is the UFC's sentiment. I think it's even his sentiment. We've tweeted a little bit back and forth here and there. He said, "I'm a man of my word." Well, if you're a man of your word, then there's only one guy that you're going to fight when you come back to the UFC. The guy who had a contract with your name on it. The guy who signed on the dotted line and still to this day has never missed weight and never pulled out of a fight. So could be 2025, could be this summer, could be this fall, could be this winter, could be 2026. I don't know. All I know is, as you can see by the decisions that I'm making and the moves that I'm making, fought Charles Oliveira in November, and here we are just 3 months removed from that, and I'm in camp getting ready to fight Paddy Pimblett in April in Miami.
In your heart of hearts, what are you feeling now these days? Does it ever happen?
Heart of hearts is tough, man, because I think heart of hearts says that Conor is coming back at some point. But if I'm a betting man, if I'm using my brain, I wouldn't put money on it. But that's where I'm at today. Right now, obviously, I'm focused on a blonde dude from Liverpool. So I think my heart of hearts says I'm not sure for sure, but Conor's got to come back to his first love. The one thing that has given him every single shiny object that he is currently chasing, and taking all these side quests and side jobs and all these different things, every single thing that he has can be tied back in some way or another to the UFC, the opportunity that they gave him, the push that they gave him. And does he want his legacy to be, yeah, my last fight I broke my leg and I touted the greatest comeback in combat sports history. I fooled everybody for a couple of years and then signed on the dotted line to fight Michael Chandler and then pulled out of the fight, never to return again. I don't think he wants his legacy to be that. Then again, I haven't walked a mile in that man's shoes, so I'm not going to say what he is thinking. But my heart of heart says he's coming back at some point. But if I was a betting man, I ain't putting money on it.
And speaking on his upcoming fight, Chandler vowed to absolutely eviscerate Paddy Pimblett when they face off at UFC 314. He believes the fight will be different than Jordan Levitt.
His first fight in the UFC got dropped. And whoever that guy was, I forget what his name was and who he was, but he don't hit half as hard as I do. So we'll see. We'll test his chin. We'll test his gall. We'll test his championship mentality. We'll test his cardio. We will test his heart. Paddy Pimblett will be tested more than he has ever been tested in his entire life in April, just 7 short weeks away. And it's the biggest opportunity of his life. Does he rise to the occasion or does he sink? It remains to be seen. Either way, as I've said, I've been very respectful, cordial. Posted the video of me wearing the Paddy Pimblett hair. I mean, this sport is fun for me, man, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to run my own race. There it is right there. You know, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to have fun. I don't need to hate Paddy Pimblett to want to separate him from consciousness. I don't need to have any kind of animosity to absolutely eviscerate this man. It's what I've been doing since I was 14 years old, and I prefer a fight like this.
Dustin Poirier is aiming for a retirement fight scheduled for this summer in New Orleans. He mentioned it would be incredible.
I'll drop it this summer, July or August probably, and we're working on UFC New Orleans. I'm trying to retire in my home state. The UFC hasn't been there since maybe 2015.
That was the Hendo Tim Bosch fight, I think, right?
Yeah, I fought on the card as well. I fought Yancy Medeiros, but that was the last time I got to fight at home. So to retire where it all started in Louisiana would be incredible for me in my career.
I would assume main event if that's going to be your retirement fight?
Yes, sir.
Is there any names you can give away or just not quite yet?
Not quite yet. Still working on a couple things.
Dustin also said he supports Ilia Topuria's move to lightweight and believes he deserves an immediate title shot against Islam Makhachev.
What do you make of Ilya just vacating the belt and now moving to your division?
I mean, it's respectful. It's honorable to vacate the belt, to not hold up division where guys have been working so hard to get their shot at the title. He's doing it the right way, you know. And I've never seen him in person, but if he can make one, you know, everybody says he's heavy, he walks around heavy, but if he can make 145, I don't know how big he is, because some of these lightweights are huge.
And then they booked that fight against Volkanovski and Lopes for the vacant title. They haven't announced Ilya's next fight. Obviously, he wants to fight Islam. Islam's team seems to want him to maybe take a fight against a contender to prove he's a lightweight, so doesn't look like he's just beating up an undersized featherweight again. But do you think Ilya deserves the first shot at the title, or should he have to go through someone like an Arman or a Charles or someone like you or Gaethje or someone like that?
That's tough to say, especially like with all the contenders, how the lightweight division's been over the last few years. But with a guy like him, vacating the belt and moving up, finishing Max Holloway the way he did, like, I would give him a crack at the lightweight title.
Jamal Hill expressed regret that the referee stopped his fight with Yuri Prochazka, saying he preferred to be allowed to go out on his shield.
It was some adversity to go out on the shield. I would have liked to go out on my shield. If he's going to put me out, that it is what it is at that point. You know, I know what I signed up for, and I believe that was an opportunity that I would have liked to have had. As I said, you know, dealing with things and stuff like that, going into the fight, absolutely no excuse. I felt like I was in a position to come out and get my hand raised. I banked it all on myself, went out there, and ultimately I just came up short. And it sucks, bro. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks understanding that I have some things and some work to get to where I want to be. You know, I've been focused on getting back to where I was. I believe kind of like that maybe that might have hampered some things in the growth, you know, in certain areas or certain things. But now it's all locked in on growth, getting better, pushing forward, moving on to the next, and showing that I'm still that guy and still up there on that level.
Michael Bisping is calling for stricter penalties on eye poke after a controversial UFC Seattle fight where Henry Cejudo's vision was compromised, leading to a technical decision win for Song Yadong. Bisping argues that automatic point deductions could deter fighters from dangerous moves, saying eye pokes are terrible. If you start taking points, people will stop stretching their fingers out.
2 rounds, you still can't submit the guy, and you get him out of position. It's time to do some good old-fashioned damage with the punches, kicks, knees, elbows, whatever the case may be. Well done to Anthony Hernandez. He's now on a 7-fight win streak. He's got the most takedowns in the history of the middleweight division. Tonight he beat Chris Weidman's record. And when you look at Hernandez, when you look at Fluffy, he's a little fluffy, right? He's not the most ripped guy. He's not big and strong and got the six-pack and big muscles and stuff like that. So people can't have underestimated him. But I'm telling you, the heart, the gas tank, and the skill that this guy's got, you never know. This guy could potentially be a champion one day. And the crazy thing is, he could probably make 170 pounds. Right, now we get to the main event. Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. The fight started, of course, Henry Cejudo was talking about making one last run. And it's kind of exciting. Can he do it? Can he come back at 38 years old and become the champion of the world again? Song Yadong has had a few losses along the way, but he's learned from those losses. He's training with Uriah Faber. He's learned all about the takedown defense. He's got beautiful, crisp boxing, ridiculously fast hand speed. And tonight, he looked really good against Henry Cejudo. Now, Cejudo looked good as well, but at the start of the fight, Henry's utilising a lot of feints, a lot of movement, a lot of feinting level change, and then coming up with an uppercut or with a straight shot. He was trying to feint a level change so that Song Yadong sprawled, and he would bring a knee up the middle. It's a really smart approach, because obviously, Song Yadong, you're fighting in Olympic wrestling, you work on your sprawl, so therefore it's just ingrained in your brain. You know what I mean? You know, split-second reaction, instinct, you sprawl, and when you sprawl, your head comes down. Henry Cejudo was trying to set a trap, so he walked onto the knee. It never happened, but Cejudo definitely landed some shots. But Song Yadong was being more economical with his energy. Henry, as I said, was throwing lots of stuff like this and moving constantly and shooting takedowns. By the way, Song Yadong defended every single takedown, even went for a takedown of his own. And Henry was kind of swinging, where Song was calm. He was patient. He wasn't moving too much. There was no wasted movements. And when he threw his shots, they were nice and economical. And as the fight progressed, it looked like Song was starting to take over. Now, there was a couple of fouls along the way. There might have been a nut shot. There was definitely an eye poke. There was definitely a warning from referee Jason Herzog. And the reason why that's relevant is because in round 3, there was a double eye poke. So the referee tells him off for poking in the eyes. Then they continue. The fingers are still out. Then he pokes him with the double eye poke. Henry Cejudo is in a bad way. He's saying that he can't see. Now, this is where the controversy comes in, because the fight was stopped for 5 minutes. And that's the rule, okay? But Jason Herzog, and by the way, I'm not entirely sure of the exact ruling here, because it's a bit of a murky situation. But Jason Herzog kept going over to Henry and saying, look, listen, are you good to continue? Are you good to continue? And Henry was like, yeah, I just need some time. I can't see yet. I'm going to be okay. The doctor checked him out. He said, I'm going to be fine, but I've got 5 minutes. And I thought Henry was kind of milking it a little bit to, you know, recover, to replenish his gas tank, because he was getting tired and Song was starting to take over a little bit and have more and more success. And I thought he was going to take that 5 minutes, and then when he goes back out for the final few seconds, just like explode and put it on Song Yadong. But that's not what he did, okay? When the fight restarted, he just backed off the whole time and covered up. And then at the end of the 4th round, he calls in the doctor. He's like, I can't see. And he was saying it loud and clear to everybody. And to be fair, you know, maybe he couldn't see. And if he couldn't see, then you can't fight. But the thing is here, if the 3rd round didn't commence, there was about a minute left when the eye poke happened. Number one, I think we should have had a point deducted. And I don't say that because I want to see Song Yadong's career, you know, like jeopardized or anything like that. No, I like Song Yadong, and I'm very good friends with Uriah Faber, and I have a lot of respect for the whole team. But the eye pokes, people need to know that there's goddamn fucking consequences. You know, eye pokes are terrible. You know all about my history with the eyes. Eye pokes are bad, right? If you start taking points, people will stop stretching their fucking fingers out. And then when the 3rd round started, and there was only a minute left, Song Yadong had his fingers out, and so did Henry Cejudo. And I'm like, why isn't the ref saying anything? Something needs to be done. Stricter penalties need to be in place. There needs to be immediate consequences for people poking fighters in the eye. It's as simple as that. So, anyway.
If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. If you don't, you'll miss out on daily MMA news and people will think you're a casual. Jim Miller criticized the lack of action on eye pokes in MMA after Henry Cejudo's fight ended due to one. Miller suggested immediate penalties and financial deductions to deter fighters from making these dangerous pokes, saying, "It's not the gloves, it's the culture. The shameless win-at-all-costs mentality amongst fighters and the eye pokes are an accident and not a foul mentality most people seem to have. The good news is that we can change the culture. Penalize the foul immediately during the pause in action after confirming a strike or post was thrown with outstretched fingers. I believe not only a point deduction, but also a purse deduction would have a rapid effect on how many pokes we see. I've come to these conclusions after being taped into those gloves 45 times, totaling over 7 hours inside the octagon, landing over 1,200 significant strikes, none of which were thrown with extended fingers, and I also slept at a Holiday Inn Express a few times. And that doesn't mean that all pokes are intentional. A vast majority seem to come from a passivity or a lack of aggression, trying to create space or avoid being hit or clinched. Penalizing them would make a huge impact." Bryce Mitchell withdrew from a Karate Combat grappling match, citing an upcoming UFC bout and a feminine-looking photo he took issue with. Mitchell expressed mistrust in Karate Combat's handling of his image, stating, "You took a photo of me and then you modified it. I'm not gay."
I want to let y'all know I'm pulling out of my grappling match on Friday. This is my first time announcing it. Karate Combat don't even know yet. So I'm literally announcing it myself before I tell anybody. I don't want my words to get twisted, and I don't quite trust them with my words. So, yeah, I'm pulling out of the match. And reason being is the great news is I've got a big matchup coming up, big fight coming up. I don't know the exact details on the fight, but I'm just telling y'all something's coming up, and please be patient with me, okay? I'm being patient too. I want to fight too. And I can't wait for this next fight, and I'm prioritizing the fight over a grappling match. It's not worth it for me knowing I got a fight coming up now to do a grappling match on Friday. And here's the thing, Karate Combat, I love y'all, but still, y'all did me dirty, okay? You posted that CGI photo of me, and you did up my ears, and you did up my eyebrows, and whatever you did to my face, it don't look like me, okay? I'm just telling you, you took a photo of me, and then you modified it, and then you posted it on the roster, okay? And the photo looks feminine, okay? I'm not gay, and y'all don't need to be queering me out, okay? Because I don't like that shit. So since y'all tried to queer me out, now I'm calling you out on it. And you need to be respectful to your fighters and post real photos of them on the roster. Don't be CGIing us and making us look feminine. Nobody's going to like that. And I think somebody did that with bad intentions. I'm not stupid. Or I'm not as stupid as y'all think, at least. But I forgive you. All you got to do is apologize now. You know, do the right thing, Karate Combat. Say you're sorry. Take the photo of me down. And we move on, you know. But you do owe me an apology on that one. And that's why I'm coming straight out and announcing I'm out of the match, because I don't even trust them to relay this message. I wanted to tell y'all the message. And the more important thing is that a good fight's coming through for y'all. So I know y'all are going to be excited about that. Thank all of y'all for tuning in. And to my opponent that I was going to grapple, Eli, I want to let you know, brother, you're a phenomenal athlete. I think the world of you. You're 23 years old, 6-0. You know, I've been fighting since I was 17. I'm 30 years old now, brother. So I've only pulled out of a couple fights, but this kind of stuff happens. And for whatever reason, you know, this happened, and you're gonna be in. You're gonna end up coming out on top from this. Okay? They're gonna find you opponent. You're going to keep doing good, and God bless you, buddy. I don't have anything bad to say about you, never did. And hopefully you'll get to watch the next episode of my podcast, because I talk about God, I talk about my country, and I'm on there. I'm not a hateful person, so hopefully you get to watch the podcast and see what you think. I think you'll enjoy it. And Karate Combat, as soon as you take the photo down and apologize, I forgive you, and I still love you. And like I said, I'm not doing the fight because it's not worth the risk. I'm not doing the grappling match because I've got a fight coming up very soon, and it's not worth the risk for me to be doing it. And I know y'all will be understanding of it. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Karate Combat CEO sarcastically responded to Mitchell's remark.
I want to deeply apologize to Bryce Mitchell.
Karate Combat, I love y'all, but still, you posted that CGI photo. You did up my ears and you did up my eyebrows, and the photo looks feminine.
Eyebrow, you know, it just doesn't look good. It looks feminine, and pulling out of a match, you know, I understand. I would pull out of a match if my eyebrow looked different too, so.
Y'all tried to queer me out, now I'm calling you out on it.
I've been president for 13 months now, and this is probably the worst mistake I've made as a president. Congrats. He doesn't know the details of his fight, but he has a big fight, which is cool. So I'm looking forward to his big fight. I think what makes me really sad is, you know, the opponent, this fight meant a lot to him, really had some serious sentimental value to him. So he messaged me today that he's just absolutely heartbroken to hear this on social media for the first time. So I apologize to the opponent too. I hope to find a way to make it up to you. And it is our fault for again, editing the ear and
Joe Rogan reveals his favorite moment interviewing UFC fighters after victories was with Israel Adesanya after he beat Alex Pereira at UFC 287.
It's over. Like, there's like some historic moments where you could see that when the fighter wins, it's like, it's a big fucking deal. And one of my favorite ones was when Israel Adesanya had his second UFC fight against Alex Pereira, and he knocks him out. Cold, beautiful, clean right hand, then finishes him on the ground, and then fires off 3 arrows into his body.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy.
Bro,
Yes.
I mean, that was a fucking classic moment. And then he grabs a microphone and gives like one of the most inspirational speeches. Like, pull that speech up.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. This is my favorite moment, I think, of anybody after they won a fight. Because it's just like, this was real in the moment from a guy who's the fucking boogeyman, dude. Alex Pereira is the boogeyman. He's the scariest motherfucker in the sport. He knocked Izzy out twice. He left hook KO'd him in kickboxing, and then he beat him down in the UFC, and then Izzy finally knocked him out. And when he knocked him out, when he fires those arrows into his body, and then see if you can find that speech. And when you hear it, man, you're like, wow. That's what makes the whole career worth it.
Henry Cejudo has requested a rematch with Song Yadong after their fight ended due to an eye poke, leaving Cejudo unable to continue. Despite Cejudo's plea, Dana White expressed no interest in a rematch, stating, "Not at all, not even a little bit." Cejudo insists their fight has unfinished business and asked White to reconsider.
What's up, my people, my fans, and all my haters? Jesus, guys, I didn't, we wanted to finish the fight, man. And I think, obviously I got poked in the eye with 2 damn fingers. And typically, like, when I get poked, like, I'm good. You know what I mean? The same reason why I was smiling or whatnot. But after those 5 minutes were up, I still couldn't see anything. Or it's not that I couldn't see anything, it's I was seeing double. So I just got back from the hospital right now, and I don't even know the term of the diplopia. Diplopia is when, when you get tissue damage in your eye, and you pretty much freaking scratch your retina where you're able to see doubles. And it's unfortunate, dude. Did Song do it intentionally? No. But should there be a point deducted? 100%, man. I think it's like basketball, dude, where there's technical fouls. Like, if you travel, dude, it's still technical. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that the UFC could maybe allow replays for things like that, and then the referee can make a decision whether if it wasn't intentional or not. I mean, the dude, as a fighter, one of the first things that the referee says when they go in the back is you cannot stick your fingers out like that. And I think the warning's already set before the fight. I eventually got fucking poked with 2 fingers. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, dude. Honestly, I thought if I was gonna recover, the same reason why, because I know how the MMA crowd is. So I was like, hey guys, give me some time. Like, I'm gonna feel better. Like this, my eyesight's gonna come back. And by the time the 5 minutes were up, dude, I was kind of in the pressure. It's like, dude, well, maybe I even asked the dude, how much time do we have on the clock? And I think he said 1 minute and 16 seconds or whatever. Or my friend has said there's 1 minute and 16 left. And I'm like, well, maybe I can rough this out. But then one Song came and he got that 5-minute break, and I'm just like, man, I saw 4 arms, dude. It's unfortunate, dude. I think there's a lot of things that maybe we could do as an MMA. It's not Song's fault, dude. I'm not pissed at him. But I will say this for Jason Herzog, dude. I'm curious to talk to you, man. Got kicked in the balls a couple times, and then eye poke. Bro, something has to be done. And then I think as referees too, we could also learn. But I also think for the UFC, maybe there should be something where, where there is a replay, where the referee's able to see the replay and say, all right, man, there's one, even if it wasn't intentional, it's still done. You still cannot do this. You know what I'm saying? You got to be here. And then apparently I couldn't see no more. So apparently when the round started, Song was still, dude, they're telling me, I still can't see it, but they're telling me he was kind of like a zombie, with his fingers out. It's unfortunate, man. I want to give a big shout out to Bisping, dude. He came out in the back and he was like, hey man, I lost an eye because of some shit that people think it's a joke. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna see a specialist tomorrow. And hopefully this thing goes by. Hopefully the double vision that I'm feeling right now is just goes away and I'm fucking normal tomorrow. Cause it sucks, dude. It sucks that you kind of get nauseous a little bit. But other than that, dude, I just want to thank the UFC. I want to thank Dana White, and it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate, but I will say this, man. Dana White, I know you said that you're not interested in that rematch, dude. Let's run it back. Let's run it back, man. Song, dude, there's still 2 rounds left, dude. You know what I mean? The pace was picking up, dude. Look, he was hurt. I would look at my face, look at his face. Dude, we're scrapping. I think we should run it back. So Dana, I respect you. I hope we can run this back with Song, and let's do it soon, dude. Let my eye get better, and obviously have a 30-day suspension, and we can take it from there. But I think we should run it back, and I think there's a lot of things that need to be done. And hopefully somebody could step up and maybe do replays, and then the referee should automatically take a point. That's one of the biggest things that the referees, when they go in the back, that's one of the things. You cannot stick your fingers out, you cannot. And Jason did say that in the meeting. He was like, all right, well, I don't do that shit. But it is what it is. And what am I going to do now? I got to just heal up. I'd love to run it back with Song. Song, if you're down, dude, let's do it. I felt like the fight was getting good. It was getting good. It was getting better. I wasn't trying to give you a five minute break. But it is what it is. And
That's all for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more MMA content. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on the screen to get caught up.